Some international news. In a rare meet, Vladimir Putin hosted Indian External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar. This comes as Jaishankar is on a visit to Moscow, where he earlier met his counterpart Sergey Lavrov and also the Russian Deputy Prime Minister Denis Manturov. Now, Putin extended an invite to Prime Minister Modi to visit Russia. He also wished the Prime Minister success in the upcoming Lok Sabha elections. Beyond this, Putin also hailed bilateral relations between the two nations, even as India has been repeatedly pressured to change stances amid the war in Ukraine.
We are gratified to note that despite all the turmoil happening worldwide, the relationship with our true friends in Asia, India, has been progressing incrementally. We will be glad to see our dear friend, His Excellency Prime Minister Modi, paying a visit to Russia. We will be able to discuss all the relevant current issues and talk the prospects of the Russian and Indian relationship. We have an open field of work ahead of us. So please convey my very best wishes to His Excellency. And please tell him that we want to see him, Russia. We expect him to come, although I know that India next year will have a busy political schedule. The general elections in Parliament are scheduled for next year. We wish our friends every success.
Now, to get us more on this, we're crossing over to my colleague Rishabh, who joins us now on the broadcast. Rishabh, what's also interesting is that the Russian President Vladimir Putin, he's now extended an invite to Prime Minister Modi. It's also important to note here that I think this is for the second year running, correct me if I'm wrong, that the Prime Minister has skipped out on his annual summit with Putin. Can you tell us more about why that's happened in the recent past?
Well, there are two things. Definitely, there is an annual summit between India and Russia. Last year, Putin was supposed to be in New Delhi, but because of Ukraine war, he could not come this time around, given the political compulsions that the Prime Minister have, given that India would be having the general elections in the next 100 days. Prime Minister's visit to Russia was not confirmed, and that's the reason that External Affairs Minister is in Russia on the 5-day visit. But we also need to underline the relationship between India and Russia. We have seen Prime Minister meeting President Putin in Samarkand, and then there have been numerous telephonic calls between both the leaders. When it comes to foreign affairs ministers level, both the leaders, be it Jaishankar or Sergey Lavrov, they have met at least 7 times this year on the sidelines of BRICS, SCO, G20 twice, and others. And the defense ministers have met, NSA level talks have happened. The relationship between Russia and India have been up, ever since in India's independence, and the relationship is yet that strong. It's multi-generational relationship, and definitely last 2 summits did not happen because of the compulsions both the leaders have. Now, Vladimir Putin has officially invited via External Affairs Minister Prime Minister Narendra Modi to visit Russia. Remains to be seen when that happens, but yes, during this visit, only the next annual summit has been already announced between India and Russia. And when it comes to India and Russia, both the countries have been discussing trade, energy, nuclear energy, as well as mobility between India and Russia. We have heard Aleppo, who is the ambassador of Russia to India, talking about how Russia would like to have more Indians in Russia. So definitely the relationship has been an upward trajectory, but also with this visit, India would like to underline that whatever the new friendships are developing for India, Russia remains all-weather friend, and that is not going to change.
Also, Rishabh, beyond that, what are the concrete deals that have been signed when it comes to this meeting? Because Jaishankar has met with multiple leaders of Russia now. This is a very significant meeting. He's met with the Deputy Prime Minister. He's met with the President, even his counterpart. So what has actually come out of that? What's the outcome?
When it comes to deals, there is a mention of nuclear energy deal between India and Russia, with a special mention of Kundakulam project. Remember, Kundakulam project is something that has been in talk for quite some time, and with this visit, it has seen a further in that deal. Apart from that, remember, India bought S-400s from Russia, even going against the sanctions that were slapped against Russia after Ukraine war by Western countries. India did go ahead with S-400 deal, but S-400 deal has not materialized yet. That is somewhere the discussions happened. That should happen quickly. Apart from that, deals in trade and energy has taken place. And especially when it comes to the discussions, remember, there are issues in Indo-Pacific as well as Red Sea. And India would like Russia to help India to dilute the situation that is evolving in Red Sea. At least 10 consignment vessels have been attacked in last 1 month, and that is creating an issue for the supply chain in the region, given that there is a presence of Iranian presence and Iranian-backed Houthi presence in Red Sea. India would like Russia to intervene and dilute that solution. So that is something that was important during the discussion between the leaders in Moscow last evening.
All right, Rishabh, thank you so much for joining us and bringing us those very important details.